Motorcycling has always been about more than horsepower or speed. Sometimes it's about character, feel, and a sense of connection to the road. Honda's new GB350S is built squarely around that philosophy. It's not here to blow your socks off with performance stats or cutting-edge electronics. Instead, it delivers a slice of nostalgia with a modern twist, packaged in an affordable, easy-going machine. In an age where many bikes compete to outdo one another with sheer aggression, the GB350S is refreshingly unhurried. It's a motorcycle that invites you to slow down, breathe, and enjoy the ride. At first glance, the GB350S feels like a time capsule. Its teardrop-shaped tank, tuck-and-roll style seat, and gated forks all hark back to the 1970s and 80s era of simple Japanese roadsters. Yet it avoids looking like a museum piece. Honda's designers have walked a fine line between homage and modernity. Blacked-out engine casings, discreet LED lighting, and tasteful finishing touches bring the bike firmly into the 21st century. Unlike some retro-inspired bikes that tip over into costume drama, the GB350S wears its style lightly. Everything looks proportional, considered, and uncluttered. Even the instrument cluster, a large analog speedometer with a small LCD screen nestled inside, manages to look both classic and contemporary. And let's not ignore the soundtrack. Honda has tuned the exhaust to emit a low-pitched thump, richer than most modern singles. It's not loud, but it's soulful, a sound that feels entirely at home on a Sunday morning ride down a tree-lined B-road. Powering the GB350S is a 348 cubic centimetre air-cooled 4-stroke 2-valve OHC single-cylinder engine, producing around 20 horsepower and 29 newton-meters of torque. By today's standards, that's modest. Many 300cc bikes produce more on paper, but numbers don't tell the whole story. The GB's engine is long-stroke, meaning it delivers its torque low in the rev range. Most of its grunt arrives just above idle, and that makes it an absolute pleasure in real-world riding. From city traffic to back-road meandering, it pulls cleanly and predictably. You won't be chasing the red line. Instead, you'll surf the mid-range and let the bike's natural rhythm do the work. Honda has worked hard on refinement too. Dual balancer shafts, a heavy crankshaft, and a double-skinned exhaust help suppress vibration and accentuate the single's heartbeat. As a result, you get that authentic thump-thump character without the hand-numbing buzz that plagued older thumpers. Top speed? Roughly 80 to 85 miles per hour in favourable conditions, but truthfully, this bike doesn't encourage you to chase it. Cruising at 55 to 65 miles per hour feels like its sweet spot. Beyond that, it runs out of breath, but again, that's not the point of the GB350S. Throw a leg over and you'll notice immediately how approachable this bike feels. The seat height is 800mm, the bars are wide and upright, and the foot pegs are positioned for comfort rather than aggression. At 178 kilograms wet weight, it isn't feather light, but the low centre of gravity makes it feel manageable for riders of all experience levels. The handling is best described as neutral. The bike doesn't dive into corners like a sport machine, nor does it resist them like a heavyweight cruiser. It simply flows. The suspension telescopic forks up front and twin shocks at the rear leans toward comfort, soaking up potholed city streets and country lanes with equal ease. Braking is adequate rather than thrilling. A 310mm front disc and 240mm rear disc, both with ABS, provides steady stopping power. Aggressive riders might find the front brake a little soft, but it matches the GB350S's laid-back personality. One standout feature is the assist slipper clutch. Lever pull is feather light, making it perfect for stop-start traffic, and downshifts are smooth with little rear-wheel chatter. Combined with the slick 5-speed gearbox, the whole drivetrain feels polished and confidence-inspiring. Though styled like a bike from the past, the GB350S quietly integrates modern tech to make everyday riding easier and safer. These touches don't overwhelm or detract from the retro styling, but they do bring peace of mind for daily use. Honda claims fuel economy figures around 94 miles per gallon, which is exceptional. With a 15-litre tank, that translates to more than 250 miles between fill-ups in the real world. For commuters and budget-conscious riders, that's a major selling point. Even for leisure riders, the idea of covering an entire weekend of rides on a single tank is liberating. The GB350S isn't just about affordable purchase price. It's also cheap to run. Honda has kept service intervals reasonable, every 4,000 miles or 12 months. And being a simple air-cooled single, the maintenance is straightforward. Insurance costs are low, fuel costs are tiny, and consumables like tyres and chains won't break the bank. So, what's it like when you leave the city behind and head into the countryside? This is where the GB350S shines. It's not about attacking corners, it's about stringing them together gracefully. The bike encourages you to settle into its pace, to roll the throttle open and listen to the engine's steady heartbeat. It's the sort of machine that makes you notice things. The smell of the fields, the feel of the air, the rhythm of the road beneath your tyres. Many modern bikes isolate you from the world with sheer speed and technology. The GB350S does the opposite. It connects you.
Verdict: a bike for the soul. The Honda GB350S isn't for everyone, and that's exactly its charm. Riders who demand adrenaline, superbike pace, or cutting-edge electronics will look elsewhere. But for those who appreciate motorcycling as an experience, not a contest, this bike is deeply satisfying. The GB350S is a perfect city commuter bike, but is not ideal for motorways or high-speed touring. It's a return to the roots of riding. One cylinder, one rider, one road. It's about the pleasure of simplicity, the joy of connection, and the reassurance of Honda engineering. Starting at under £4,000 for basic model, the GB350S is not just an affordable motorcycle, it's an affordable escape. And in today's fast-moving world, that makes it one of the most relevant machines Honda has built in years. Final word. The GB350S isn't about how fast you get there. It's about how much you enjoy the journey.
Become one of our YouTube members and save. For a £5 monthly membership fee, get 2 digital issues of Modern Classic, motorcycle news magazine for the price of 1 per month.